Okay, let's look at 12.2 written homework problems here. There's only one question. We're not going to do 15, just do number 9. Looking at number 9 here, we're wondering if happiness, right, is related or dependent upon, if it's dependent on your level of health. And so you can see the following data represents the level of happiness, how happy someone put their lives at, how they rated it, based on their health, whether excellent, good, poor, or fair. And so based on this information, we can answer this question. Does the evidence suggest that health or happiness are related? So we can run a chi-square test for independence. We have an alpha level here. Again, I have the solution for all of the, if you were going to do it, by hand, you would have all this, and again, it's a lot of work. And of course, I put this here so in case some of you will still want to do it by hand, but we're going to use StatCrunch to answer the question, which is ultimately what we want to do. Does the evidence suggest health and happiness are related? And so to do that, what we would do is, of course, open StatCrunch, and then you get the contingency table in. There's your level of happiness, excellent, good, your health on top, and then your ratings here. And then to run the test, you're going to do tables, contingency, and then we have the data summarized already. The row is happiness, right? Going back to, here's your row data, happiness, and then your health is your columns. So again, this is a row, and then this is columns, okay? And so going back to, then your columns are, your values are in here. And then you're running a chi-square test for independence. That's all you need to do. Compute. And then with that computation here, we see we get a big chi-squared, a p-value less than 0.001. So we're going to reject the null hypothesis. And again, going back to your notes on these cases here, your null hypothesis is always, right? The null hypothesis is that the variables are, independent. And then the alternative hypothesis is that the variables are not, not independent. And so in this case, because that p-value was so small, we reject the null hypothesis and accept that, which leads us to these conclusions of there's sufficient evidence to conclude that health and happiness are related because they're not independent. I mean, there's a dependency. That's really what we need to do. You can look at B and C, but I'm not too worried about that. It's a little bit more advanced in terms of looking at a triple bar graph for each of those based off of the relative frequencies. But what you can see is it's just a visual of our result, is that it looks like people are not too happy. As their health decreases, the number of people not too happy starts to increase. If you look at that, that changes, right? And so that's what we're, that's what you're looking at in terms of your health right there. As your health gets worse, you start to get unhappy. And that's what you do, again, using StatCrunch to do that versus all this hand calculation is my recommendation.